Welcome to week 6 of the Adult Weight Management Project. This week we're going to be talking about weight and chronic disease. Obesity itself is considered a chronic disease. It even threatens to become the leading health problem of the 21st century. There are over 100 million Americans that are overweight or obese. That translates into about 32% of our population. Kentucky itself has one of the highest rates of obesity in our nation. Kentucky is the has the seventh highest rate of overweight and obese adults in our nation. Eastern Kentucky, where we're located, has the highest percentage of overweight and obese people in the state. Kentucky ranks third lowest in the United States in the consumption of 5 fruits and vegetables per day, and it ranks third highest in the United States for physical inactivity. So what is obesity? I think by now you probably have a pretty good idea. I know we've talked about it some in our meetings and some individually, but when a person is overweight, they have a body mass index of between 25 and 29.9 kilograms per meter square. Obesity is a BMI of greater than 30, and then obesity is further classified into classes 1 through 4. A BMI itself is just a mathematical formula. Obesity and BMI classifications, there is one for underweight. It's anything under 18.5 kilograms per meter square. Healthy weight is considered a BMI of 18.5 to 24.99. Overweight is 25 to 29.99, and anything over 29.99 is obese. Class 1 is 30 to 34.99, 2, 35 to 39.99. You see it kind of goes up by tens. Class 4 is anything over 50 kilograms per meter square. Waist circumference has also become an important item in overweight and obesity. Research studies show that it isn't just how much extra weight you carry, but where you carry it at, where it's distributed at, that can affect your health. I'm sure all of you have heard of the apple shape and the pear shape. Well, people with more abdominal fat are the apple shape, and people with more weight on their thighs are the pear shape. Research has shown that women with a waist circumference of greater than 35 inches and men with a waist circumference of greater than 40 inches are at increased risk of chronic disease and death. And of course, this would be more for the people with the apple shape, more abdominal fat. There was a famous study done called the Framingham Heart Study. It was a major study that looked at many things. One of the things it looked at was a person's lifetime risk of becoming obese. And the statistics they came up with were men and women aged 30 through 50. Now this is with a normal BMI. If you have a normal BMI, your risk of becoming obese during your lifetime for women is 14 to 19% risk, and men it's a 26 to 30% risk. So if you're normal weight now, doesn't mean you'll always be that way. Obesity itself is considered a chronic disease, but there are other diseases associated with this. If you are already obese, or you may already have one or more of these chronic diseases. If you don't have them, then you're very high risk for developing them. And there's more than what is in my list here, but this is just a pretty good list of them. What these diseases contribute to is poor quality of life, disability, and early death. Obesity can shorten your life from just a few years to as many as 20 years. So what can you do? Losing weight will help lessen the effects of any of these diseases and possibly prevent them from developing if they're not already there. And it doesn't have to be a great amount of weight loss. Research shows that as little as 10% loss of body weight can positively affect your health. There's a story about a woman who lost 400 pounds, which means she had to weigh over 500 pounds to start with. But before her weight loss, she had 9 of these chronic diseases listed above. When she reached her normal weight, all but one of her diseases was gone. I believe it was the diabetes. But even though it wasn't gone, she still had it well under control. So that's just one example. There's many, many more out there. If you talk to people who have been extremely obese and lost weight, you'll see these stories all over the place. Just references for the statistics I gave you. I'm opening up questions and answers today to answer any questions you might have about weight and how it's related to chronic disease. Next week we're going to talk about weight loss.